I'm live. Look at me, you guys. Don't make fun of me. Don't start with me. How are you guys doing? Can you hear me okay? Hi. Hi, Peggy. Hi, Judy. Hi, Lighthouse. What is Lighthouse's name? She put her dates in there early. Can you guys hear me okay? Hey. All right, that's a thumbs up you can hear. So, and Judy, thank you for the dates too, you guys. I am so tired. Oh, Francesca, I love that. You are not my first Francesca. Isn't that a pretty name? I am so tired. Hey, hey, hey. Nice to see you guys. You are making me feel energized. Hi, Kathy. I love it. Thank you. Okay, so I got to talk to Peggy for a minute. We're going to get right into this. Kathy, got you. Hold on a minute. I'm going to add you right here with Judy. I got this thing called memberships now. It's pretty cool. So I got to bump them up to the top and just be patient because I really do a deep dive with you guys and we're going to hang out a little while. Hi, Angie. Don't make fun of this. I want to hear it from you. Not one word. Yes. I don't know how to say your name. I'm going to call you Y for now. I need your name. Hi, Kaylee. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Kathy, let me write your dates down. Hey, we were born in the same year, Kathy. Let's go. Where'd it go? No, Peggy. No, no, no. No, 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 Peggy. We're going to talk right now. This is cool. Everybody will learn from it. You know, it's a lot like astrology. We all have not the same, but many of these frequencies of the numbers running through us and through our connections. And I won't say anything really personal. Peggy, I hope that I have your permission. It's really kind of just a quick look at how you connect with your mom and dad and stepdad and stuff like that. And I did the years wrong for you. I was like a year off. So I want to give that to you really quick. And then I'm going to read. Okay. Right? I know. I just put it all out there. I mean, look at me. I'm not caring about much personal stuff at all. But I'm going to talk to Peggy, then Francesca, Judy, Kathy, and we'll keep rolling. How is everybody today? Angie, I love you, girl. Oh, really? Well, you better not put a picture of me, and I don't want to hear it tomorrow when you guys see me like this in the video. Just saying. The goal here is to exercise. If I do my hair and my makeup, I'm not going to get to the exercise, right? And I missed yoga. I'm really upset. I missed yoga. I missed Dawn's thing. Thank you, Peggy. Thanks, you guys. You're super too kind. Too kind. Okay, Peggy, where are you? I made these notes. Thank you, guys. You're super cool. Just don't think that I did this for 2 days. If you'll know tomorrow. Thank you, guys. When you start to get this old and stuff, you just don't care. You just don't care. Okay, Peggy. You guys, we have talked about Peggy is a 888. Francesca, you've got 3 sevens in you. It's okay. It's recorded. It's okay. I know. Well, you might snap a screenshot and put me on your post. Anyway, you guys know what I went through this weekend with this house and the kids and the music and the $30,000, I think, for Joshua House, which is for their music program for foster children. So that's really cool. And then I hope the crew made money of their own too. We'll see. I didn't get an answer about that. Like, if I get don't know. Anyway, okay. I know, I'm really proud of them. So Peggy, remember that you are 888-1-8881. Write this down, Peggy. Your mom is a 7. She's that chariot. We're going to talk a lot about chariot, soldier, warrior energy today. Your mom is a 7-8-4-4. Interesting, right? Peggy, your dad is an 8. And then the code is 8116. And remember, wherever we have the 6, we're going to mirror a 9. So you're a lot like your dad with the 8s and the 1s, but I think he had that duality in him, and if it wasn't balanced, he probably tended to spend a lot. And I don't remember what you're telling me, but there's that. And then Joe is a 9. Okay, his code is 9873. So if you think about it, you're really tapping into the energy of your mom and dad and stepdad. It's pretty cool, but I would say you're a lot more like your dad, and that your mom has a similar taste in men, but they were different. But they both have a 9 and a 6, so hey, Puff, I got to read for you. Well, yes, there's that, right? But you need mom advice. I love that. I know. I think I love mom advice, and if I can give good advice, I will. So Peggy, that aside, let's see, your mom was a Virgo, was a Sag. So do you feel like you are a lot like your dad, but you maybe got along with your stepdad better because he also is kind of the yin yang to your mom? I believe that he was a better match for your mom, I hope. They're both very much old souls, and I would even gather to say in a past life they knew each other, maybe in different roles, but they have that emperor energy. Your mom the emperor, Joe the empress more, but definitely connected with the 8s and the 7s. Yeah, he's a good fit for your mom. I don't know about your dad and stepdad. There could have been some addiction issues, childhood trauma, past life. The chariot soldier warrior energy is strong in your bloodlines too, I feel, in your history and your family history. And again, Peggy, this is a year of completions for you. So keep that in mind. I know we discussed it. And we talked about when you first got married that it was a 5-year for you, which is about soul purpose. And you have really, you've seen that through. I think that's good karma, as difficult as it is. Karma, dharma, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean. And then Peggy, you don't have to say too much now, but I don't remember what you said when you were little. I remember when you were 4, there was, like an accident or whatever. But when you were 1, I feel like this started even when your mom got married and she was pregnant with you when you were 1. Also, Peggy, 1971, 1980, 1989, 1998, 2007, and 2016. So for example, in 1980, when you were 19, you met Danny, I'm thinking, and got married in 81. So think of that. Think of those years, those cycles, because you guys, all of us go through these 9-year cycles. Yeah. It's sort of like portions of a Saturn return almost. Ed, hello. Hello. I just looked at my email. Getting back to you. I see it, Ed. I saw it. I'm gonna reply a little bit later today. I love getting to say hi to everybody. Okay, so Peggy, with all of that in mind, I want to do one more thing. Can you shoot me the date of the second time you married your husband? So yeah, lightning does strike twice, you guys, in some cases. Oh, I can't wait to see what you sent me. And if I didn't tell you this, send Angie the picture of the glass balloon. Peggy's gonna just flip out when she sees it too. It's gorgeous. So Ed, send that picture to Angie. If I did, Angie, are you still here? Ed has a really good picture. You've got to see it. You know what I'm talking about, Ed? Hi. So I'm waiting for Peggy too, and then I'm going to read for Francesca, and we'll see if Ed ever gives me his dates. He hasn't given me permission yet. Peggy, when was the second time? Tick tock, tick tock. Ah, oh, you gave me your dates. Cool. I got you. I'm going to write it down. I'll get to you in a minute. I know, the glass balloon. Yes, please. Yes, please. Look at him, the master intuitive with the old soul. Lots of soul connections for you. Really? Ed, you got to send her the picture immediately. Immediately. It's gorgeous. You're going to love it. Interesting. Well, no doubt Ed is very intelligent, psychic, intuitive, and all that, and then some. And we're going to get to that. Oh, you'll have to cuss. She said, crap. I'm going to have to go find it. That's okay. We'll get to that. So, Peggy, we've got more to talk about. And you guys, I have all this information that goes with every number when you really want to know a lot about the characteristics, the frequency, the energy of numerology and our soul connections and stuff. I can just go on for days. So I'm going to tell Francesca, hey, Monique. I've got my notes from before. Hi, sweetheart. I hope you're doing well. I think of you all the time. You know that. I appreciate all the comments, you guys, and checking on me. So, Francesca, and those of you who have a 7, hey, Gigi. I got to text you. You will not believe this dude. You know, that dude. Don't distract me though. I love you. I hope you're having a good day. Gigi's in the house. I hope you guys enjoyed our interview. We've got so much more for you. So much more. We're going to do it this weekend. Oh, she's got it. She's got it. Okay, Peggy, let me look at that really quick. So, Peggy, that year was a 10 year, which is about adjustment. Okay. And then we can take it down to a 1, which is all about change. So no matter how you look at that second date, 10 is adjustment, 1 is disruption. So that's interesting vibe compared to the first one, which is soul's purpose. And then you guys, you did it again, and it's a little bit more of an adjustment and a disruption to your life at that time, good and bad, probably, right? So there's that. Queen of Wands on the bottom of the deck. I was just told to do that. All right. Now, Francesca, I want to read to you because your code, your main numerology number is 7 of the Chariot. Yeah, right. Peggy will talk about that. That's kind of funny. A 10 and a 1. Good and bad and everything in between, really. Blessed by God, though, I do want to add that. You guys are meant to be together in this way. It's very cool. So Francesca, who is Lighthouse here in the chat, your code is 7772. It's been a ride. Well, you are a trooper. I have mad respect for you and everybody in this room. I love this community, but getting to know you is a real joy, and all of you. And Peggy's awesome. And look at Francesca here. Much like Peggy, she has 3 8s and a 1. Francesca's 3 7s and a 2. You guys are the sparkly people in the room. Francesca, you are a warrior, a soldier. Many lifetimes. And I want to read that energy to you. And then the 2 is the High Priestess and the Old Soul. I mean, everybody must look at you and go, oh, you're such an old soul. You're like, yes. And you had this knowing, but you didn't know how intense it was. So let me get to it real quick. And any of you that have a 7, maybe you were born in July, maybe you have a number that adds up to 7, you might resonate and understand some of these qualities and just take it for, what it is. Take what makes sense to you about you, or it might be about somebody you're dealing with. So Chariot energy people are able to do the impossible, dynamic spirit, stubborn, transparent, or you can struggle with transparency, anger issues, abandonment issues, rejection issues. A lot of this is that old soldier energy where you feel like you've been really through it, and I'll find it. There's some fear and trust that comes with this, fear and trust issues. There's also being very independent but guarded emotionally, attention seekers, original, boundary issues, requires personal space, commitment issues, and the energy least likely to marry. And then the 2 in you is the one that's least likely to leave. And I get that. I personally dated my ex-husband for 5 years. We were married for 5 before we ever had kids. I never thought I'd get divorced. I never thought I'd get married. And I never thought I'd get divorced. That's the 2 and the 7 in you. Yeah. And once you are, then you've been married, so I don't know if you still are. It's hard to leave because you have a 2 in you. The High Priestess, that old soul, they're the least likely to leave. And let me finish too about the Chariot energy, the commitment stuff, and having difficulty asking for help. Argumentative, I would say that I am. Balance issues, grounding issues, charismatic, easily triggered emotionally, reactive, strong of purpose. And I want to back that up with like how the High Priestess has those kind of purposeful qualities and boundaries. Self-directed, self-motivated, somewhat self-absorbed, confrontational, challenges authority, communication issues, can be unforgiving, honest, impatient, thrives on challenging situations, likes to overcome obstacles, ambitious, emotional, sensitive, competitive, fear of failure, confident, indecisive, enthusiastic, energetic, untiring, impulsive, and relentless. It's a lot of energy keeping you going, that deep chariot feel. And some famous chariots, I love this. Lady Diana, Marilyn Monroe, Muhammad Ali, Farrah Fawcett, Pink, Stephen Hawking, John Kennedy Jr., Billy Idol, and a few others. And then I want to give you this too. Good stones for chariot energy. Jade promotes love, acceptance, compassion, and self-love. Labradorite connects one to universal light. Malachite helps to release toxic emotion. It's also protective. Carnelian helps heal wounds of the heart and courage. And smoky quartz for purification. What is the site to get the numerology book? Judy, it is from Lindsay Knight, the Hermit Numerologist 9.com. Oh, cool. Really? That's very cool. This is what it looks like. You can only get it on her website. If you have TikTok, she goes live a lot too. It's just self-printed. It's amazing. I'm so blessed to have her in my life. And I want to show you a little bit of what the chariot energy can look like, just to give you a feel of some of the things. And this is the two in you, the high priestess, but also the sponge. So I want you to remember, you're going to come in and be able to read the room and really absorb and feel people's emotions. So you've got to do the protective work around yourself, not to be super, super spongy, if that's a word. You may be, obviously, I hope you love music. And if you don't, get into it, but very creative, very artistic. Well, that doesn't really apply to you. I don't know why I said that. Doesn't really apply, but I hope it does. Why? She's got to go back to work? Oh, no. Okay. Okie dokie. This too applies to the two in you, to not watch denial around you and others. Watch people who are kind of shapeshifters, and don't over adjust to meet everybody's needs. Okay. Also, one second. Why are all the sevens down at the bottom? Crazy. This, I would like to read this to you. And if I'm her words. I know what it is anyway. I don't have her notes, but this is about feeling like being very much a manifester, like a magical wizard. And a lot of times you might feel like you just don't even come from this world. I hope that makes sense to you. You are the type of person who really holds things dear to your heart. This isn't really necessarily about religion, but everything you value and love and hold dear to your heart, I think you bring to this world, and people love you for it. But this is also where you keep a lot of your emotions inside and have a fear of transparency and things like that. So be aware of that. Just, it's called the primal scream, and you just have to be able to ask for help, express your emotions, but with people that you can love and trust, because you do bring a lot of love to this world. And this is what I was really looking for. When we talk about the abandonment issues, rejection, and things like that, it may have come from a past life. You may not have gone through that yourself, but it's like some energy kind of rolling around in there. And Kaylee had to leave too. Goodness gracious. And the knife. Sometimes it can be seen as protection and sometimes as a weapon. And I think that's where you've really got to be careful with some of the chariot energy, where we can be argumentative and challenge authority and things like that. So I hope that is helping. I think that's a lot of what I wanted to share with you right now. And did you get the witness card? I have got to catch up on all this. I do have the Sacred Shaman Oracle deck. I love that deck. All right. So now, Francesca, did that help? Does that make sense to you? And then the High Priestess energy is really cool, and we could read that another time, but you have 3/7. So I wanted to share that with you, and I do hope it helped. So now I am going on to, I'm going to go to Ed, if you guys don't mind. Okay, hey, good to see you, Jonna. Who's left? Because I know Ed's here. I had written down Judy. I've got some info, and Kathy. I'm just not sure who had to bolt. Yes. We can all resonate, because either we have this frequency or we're rolling around with people that we have soul contracts with in this life. And it's good to understand the frequencies of the numbers and the way people sync up and the years that affect us in these 9-year cycles. It just fascinates me to no end. Oh, Monique, first of all, you guys, I've talked to you about some things I'm sending. I'm sorry for the delay. I'm sending that. And then Monique, I will give Gigi your email address and she'll reach out to you, okay? Because I have it. I'm going to make a note right now. Okay, Gigi? I hope she heard me. I'll tell her. Let me make a note. Monique. Got it, girl. Did it help? Did it make sense? Is there something else I can do before I move on for you, Francesca? Also, though, let me tell you something, Francesca. I almost forgot. You're in a 9-year of completions, too. Let me read this to you before we move on. And we're in a 9-year globally, so this can make a lot of sense to all of us. Okay, G, I'll get you Francesca's info. 9s are about completion, Francesca, this year. It may have already happened. We can talk. A truth surfaces that you can no longer deny. And it has the power to really change your perspective and how you look at things. It's the end of that 9-year cycle I talk about. So everything comes full circle. And some things may come back. Opportunities you thought had passed you by, old jobs, old relationships, and you really are going to have to decide, do I want to go backwards? I don't recommend it. I recommend moving forward, especially being a triple chariot. You can do it. But there's been a lot of loss, perhaps, Francesca. So there's going to be, dealing with that and adjusting this year and next. And I would say too that This is the year, though, where you really draw a line in all of that. And then you start adjusting and working through the healing process. And it might have been something that haunted you for a long time. What did he say? I only discovered yesterday during the live that Lilith's cycle is 9 years and I'm in the, oh, that's hysterical. Oh my gosh. That explains male menopause. And you guys do it like every 9 years. It's not a 7-year itch, it's a 9-year meltdown. I have Saturn at 29 degrees and I'm about to have a second return. So if I pass, no, I love you. It's been fun. It could happen at any time. I believe Pluto's going by my ascendant as well. Oh, it is. It is. I'm an Aquarius rising. So yeah, I don't know. I think I might die. And I love you guys. And you can bicker about who gets what decks and my crystals. All right. Francesca, I know Gigi. Well, you should know too. Also, Gigi, you guys, there are 4 world points, really 8. So I'm going to go from numerology to astrology really quick and piss everybody off. But we are hitting, as the planets shift, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, 0 degrees, pinging. You guys are going to be pinging. And then the other 4 points, because there's 8 in total, are at 5 degrees, I believe. And for you, Gigi, you have Mercury something at 5 degrees. I moved my notes, but this is where you're really coming into speaking your truth, and it shows in your chart. Look at them speaking in their tarot lingo. I hope you guys all understand. She got a 33, joyful music crossed by 61, whale song. And you can't talk amongst normal people like this. I love you guys. And Francesca, if you are going through a 9-year this year, reach out, let us know how it's going and how you're handling it and how a triple chariot moves through things. I want to know. All right. So, Judy, I already ran your numbers and I'm coming to you. Judy, your code is, you're a 5. You're a Hierophant. You are that soul connector. Okay. I love you too. I know. I just don't know what it means. Good things. Working on my legacy. So become a member, grow my channel. I need 100,000 subscribers. I got to leave a legacy here, you guys. It's coming fast. Saturn's just knocking at my door. But Judy, again, back to you. You're a Hierophant, and it's the church, like that card I just showed. It's not really about religion, but you're the person people really can sit and talk to. You listen. You're very compassionate. And interestingly enough, that came out in my reading for tomorrow, is don't be overly compassionate where you're not taking care of yourself first and just giving away to everyone, because 5s are really about soul contracts. And a lot of times that Hierophant energy comes into this world wounded, like carrying past life energy for real. And and thank you. And it's just, I'm not saying you're walking around like this wounded victim, but you may really feel it in your bones. Like, I'm carrying a lot of stuff that never really belonged to me. So I want you to think about that. And then the rest of your code is 1, the Magician and the Manifestor, that intuitive. The 4, the Emperor. So you can really lead things. I think magicians obviously are magical, right? But they can be very secretive and a little bit tricky. So just know that about yourself, but very highly intuitive. And then the emperor, you know what that energy is like. It can be controlling or controlled. If you listen to what Gigi and I discuss, we both have fours in us. Can we be controlling? Probably. But on the flip side, we've both been very controlled ourselves. And that's probably like the higher octave of an emperor doesn't let that happen, nor do we run over people, which Gigi's very graceful. She doesn't never stomp on people like I sometimes want to. She's very graceful about that. But the lower energy is being very controlled. And and as Gigi has expressed, I mean, she literally was chained, not literally, I guess I can't say that. Allegedly chained. But also, Judy, you have the 9, which is the hermit and the prophet. So if you combine this old soul of the Hierophant with the intuition and the magic and the prophecy that 1s and 9s bring, it's just awesome. And then the 4 in you is also really, really cool. But I'd like to read for you the Hierophant energy, because Kathy, you also have a 5 in you. You have a 1, a 5, and a double 5. Hold on. No. Wait a minute. Hold on, you guys. Because you guys are all rolling around in similar energy. So we can talk about the Hierophant, and you guys will understand. Judy, no, that's good. Yeah, that you're on the higher octane of the Emperor energy. I'm getting tired and I can't add. Yes, you have a 4. Wow. Kathy, you're a 1 or a 10. We're going to talk about that. 1, 4, 5, 1. So Kathy and Judy have a lot of interesting connections. Isn't that cool? So I think I could read to you guys the magician, the emperor, and the Hierophant, and you'd all know what I was talking about. But for those of you who I've mentioned have a 5, and does Ed have a 5? Ed has a 5 too. Ed is 11. He's a master intuitive, but we're going to take that down. He's got that high priestess intuition as well. He's a double 2. He's 9252. 9252, Ed. He's the hermit, the prophet, the Hierophant, that church, and the high priestess times 2. Amazing. And a 9. 9252. And with the 9, Ed, there's going to be a 6 because you're going to mirror that number. Interesting. You guys have a lot of the same numbers. So let's read the Hierophant, the qualities, and you can see what parts relate to you or maybe somebody else in your life. For example, let me see. Peggy's got married on a 5. Wait, where are my notes about Peggy? See, what's interesting in Peggy's numbers, there's no 5s. Isn't that crazy? But there's a lot of Emperor, Empress energy and the magician energy rolling around in her family. I know, it's just I'm talking in numbers and in circles. I hope you guys are following me, but you're even related in the chat. And a very good question Peggy had for me is how we all relate to the girls on the spiritual view. I have to get their permission to share that, but I can do that. And it's going to be cool. Way different. Many of us have similar astrology, but we're all different, right? There's layers to astrology as well as to numerology. All right. So those of you with a 5 in you, look at me thinking I can read without my glasses. Hierophant energy people are highly moral, highly ethical, spiritual, dedicated themselves with a career that gives back to the world. Truth seekers. And this is specifically for Judy, but anybody else that has a 5. Energy most affected by guilt association. They absorb and transfer guilt, shame, disappointment, feelings of failure. Often see the cup half full, though. Struggles with overwhelming feelings of dread, digestion issues, wounded. That's that past life stuff I'm talking about. Even if you weren't wounded, you might just feel that way anyway. May blame others for your problems because you're like, this isn't my crap. Because you came with it. And you feel responsible for a lot of it and carries the weight of family issues. These are old soul contracts. You can be perfectionist, a conformist, traditional, guarded emotionally, may hold a grudge, committed, honest, controlling. And so Judy said she can't be controlled. Well, she's got an emperor in her too. She's got good boundaries, which is important because Hierophants can struggle with boundaries and they can struggle with self-esteem issues just because they're carrying a lot of times the energy of the mom or problems in the family when your mom was pregnant with you. I don't know if that relates. Ooh, I know. You and my best friend Angie are my other bestie, Janice. Gigi's my bestie, and you're all my besties, but she knows Janice is 629. Anyway, I'm sorry I let the chat interrupt me. This thing about healthy boundaries, Judy, is important, but you've got that. You know, Hierophants don't normally, but you've got a lot of strong emperor energy leading you through this. You may have difficulty saying no. Proud, protective, deeply devoted to family and loved ones. You are the person that they want to sit and talk to when things are challenging or just even private things they want to celebrate. Opinionated, critical, can be destructive, hard on oneself, must learn to be forgiving, especially of yourself if you feel that. Judgmental, sometimes of yourself. No is one of my least favorite words. I know. I have that problem. And Lindsay specifically told me if I learned to say no, more people would respect me more. Like you have to keep those boundaries and we can't just be people pleasers, you know, or also trying to carry people and help them so much. That's not our role. That's not what you are contracted to do. You're here to walk beside them. I promise you that. And let them go down their own path. I know Gigi understands what I'm saying. You can be there for them, but you cannot carry them through this. Also, Hierophant people might be difficult to please, politically minded, deeply impacted on how they're perceived, guarded, intimacy issues, focused on physical appearance, harsh, advocates, rigid in their beliefs, defensive, private with injuries and problems within the family, conservative, and a need to be accepted. I know. I know. I hear you. I hear you, Gigi. Some famous Hierophant people: Judy, Angelina Jolie, Abraham Lincoln, Hitler. I hate to say that. Russell Brown, Billy Bob Thornton, Andy Kaufman, Mel Gibson, George Michael, Steven Spielberg. And I have an affirmation for you, Judy. This is for you all that resonate with the Hierophant. I am in a beautiful place of peace and forgiveness. I choose in this moment to lay down any burden I may be carrying in my life. I choose to draw wisdom from the lessons I have learned about myself. I am grateful and hopeful, and I choose to nourish my spirit with loving thoughts. And anytime you get into the negative self-talk, all y'all, including me, just and go right into 17 seconds of positive thinking. And it's a constant struggle for me. So it's easier said than done. And Judy, stones that help this Hierophant energy and frequency we're talking about, malachite, it releases toxins, and I love it for protection. Petrified wood honors the history, your history, this ancestral history. You are very contracted to the people you are around and with and cherish. I know this without even doing more numbers. Labradorite connects one to universal light, God. Jade promotes love, compassion, understanding, and self-love. And carnelian heals wounds of the heart and courage. The last one that tried yep, okay. Sell the tickets. That's hysterical. Oh, I wear some of those always. Interesting. Well, you're much more than that because you also, this is interesting. You also are a 10, which is the butterfly. That is in you, and that's not something I've read much. Or would it be the Wheel of Fortune? Yes, it's the Wheel of Fortune. I would also consider it the butterfly. This is somebody who can really learn the most from adversity, very fortunate, often feels invisible. Let's see, difficulty saying no, a lot of that going around you. Shrouded, which is a lot like the magician, can be very secretive. And this 10 energy in you, this Wheel of Fortune, again, it has to do with balance and self-esteem and forgiving yourself and being, you're very flexible in thinking, live and let live kind of thinking. And yeah, Kathy, do you have a 1 in you? Yes, you do, Kathy. You also, you're a 10 overall, Kathy. You are the Wheel of Fortune. So I should probably read this whole thing for you. I'm going to do that. Part of Judy is the Wheel of Fortune. So I wanted you guys to understand that. Kathy, you are the wheel or the magician. If we want to use 10, Angie will relate to this 1 backed by the power of God also. So there's 3 ways we can look at it. But for this purpose, I want to read to you the energy of what it is around a 10 and this Wheel of Fortune. You guys, I'm missing some good, juicy stories. All right. Those of you who resonate with the 10, Ed is more, he's got 5s and 2s. So Ed, that 5 related to you, and then you've got 2 high priestess frequencies in you and the prophet. So keep that in mind, Ed. But a little bit country. So funny. Okay. Wheel of Fortune people, they learn from adversity. They're fortunate, nonviolent by nature, gentle tolerance of all things living. Oh, I want to show some cards for this. I love this. Where'd they go? Where'd they go? Where'd they go, y'all? Aha. Tens. Let's go with the 10. Also, boundaries. Boundaries. Don't lay down for anybody. And sometimes tens will struggle with abandonment issues and loneliness as well. Self-esteem, worthiness, those kind of things, but very flexible in their thinking and very peaceful in spirit. Much like this. And this is, you're able to just really nurture things and be a bridge between this world and the ethereal world. You could be the type of person that would help people cross over. And this is the energy too of a 5, right? That's somebody who does know her worth and her balance and can move through any adversity. But also 5s come into this world with a lot of armor that you're like, I don't know where this came from. Do you have a 5 in you? Monique, hold on. I'm not sure, Monique, but we'll look. We'll look. Give me one more second. Also, those of you, Judy believes in karma. What goes around comes around. All of you also that you are this intuitive magician, sparkly person. You know, it's one of my favorite cards. You really light up the room when you walk in. The Hierophant energy also, you guys, inspires harmony and understanding, which also makes sense of what I did for a reading tomorrow. Harmony and balance within us is so important. You probably avoid confrontation with like so much energy, but you're non-judgmental and very accepting. You just don't like that confrontation. Risk taker, sometimes procrastination issues. It needs little sleep, but you might crash when you get exhausted. And also will get up at any hour to go help a friend. Like you are that person. And also may struggle with how to meet deadlines sometimes, things like that. So I want to show you a couple more things. This is when you go from 0 to 100 and you go like an Energizer bunny and you never stop. You're welcome. I'll look for you. This is you being that amazing, having that ability to just love and nurture. And you're probably an animal lover. I'm not sure. Also, this is a lot about these soul connections, and it's also about how responsible you may feel for people you really care about in your life. What else do I want to show you? This can be too where you can have some of that old past life childhood trauma hanging in there, kind of that dark night of the soul stuff we have to heal, you know. So do remember that. I believe that's called the shadow. I might be wrong about what it's called, but the energy's there. Oh, are you, Angie? That's fantastic. That's fantastic. I read famous people. Famous people besides Angie and Judy. Or no, was that for Judy? That was for Kathy. Sorry if I'm mixing everybody up. I hope you're following along. This I know about you. Yeah. This I know about you. That's true. Famous Wheel of Fortune people: Magic Johnson, Lady Gaga, George Washington, Steve Jobs, Marvin Gaye, David Blaine. Wow. Cyndi Lauper, David Letterman. I worked at a newspaper with his sister. Very interesting. Freddie Mercury and Jim Morrison. You Wheel of Fortune people are rolling around with some serious musical talent. No wonder you're talking about music. Look at that, right into music. Here's an affirmation for those of you with this amazing number. I am completely present in my body. I am filled by the light of God. I am grounded by the intelligence of earth, and I am earth. So it's important, to maintain your balance for Wheel of Fortune, because you can spin, there's a lot of adjustment and change, perhaps in your life more than others. So Boji stones will be very helpful for grounding and balancing. Tourmaline, grounding. Carnelian heals the wound of the heart and offers us courage. Onyx, grounding, power. And labradorite connects one to universal light, which I call God. So a lot of grounding needed with the ones and the tens. And it's no offense. I think we all need to practice grounding. I want to read this. You guys, this might resonate with you. I do not know why I haven't read this before or really seen it. Those of you who have gone through some loss, I want to read this for you. After you died, you used to come to me in my dreams. I would feel your energy in the room. The stillness was all around me. You had no message. You were just there. Your life, your death, for the first time since I could remember, I was no longer numb. I want you to know I am no longer empty. My heart is free because of you, your loss, the grief, my pain. I felt everything, and thank you. I just thought that was beautiful. Just beautiful. That was by Lindsay. Okay, now, so Kathy, understand that you're the Wheel of Fortune, the 4, the Emperor, 5, the Hierophant, and 1, the Magician. So you're highly intuitive. I need to see if the Osmond brothers are a number in here and make you guys happy. Okay, so and Judy, this year for you is a year of empowerment, if I didn't say that. So this is going to be a year where you can make things happen, really feel the things that you've nurtured and wanted to grow. I think you're going to really see that happen. And Kathy, for you, it's a it's a 4-year for you too of empowerment. So let me read this for Judy and Kathy, which I think is coming up shortly again. Empowerment. Preparing to take a step to promote change, redirection of energy, shedding relationships that are toxic and unhealthy, fear of the unknown. There's going to be grounding and security issues, so double down on the stones and crystals. Control issues and fear of letting go of what you don't know. But I think that the the Magician and the Emperor in you is going to really move you through this year in a positive way. And it's a time where you do take back your power, which reminds me of that queen-looking lady in the red dress, lady in red. And it's also a time of confronting old patterns and emotions that are not effective, and you work through that, and then mostly this year and next you'll clear that out, because you're really taking a good look at yourself, these relationships, and how to trust again, and working on all of that healing. Does that make sense? Well, good. Yes, this is where you do it. And then in 2026, you're going to come into a lot of your soul's purpose and perhaps better connections, things like that. And that's for Judy too. I believe I did my math right. Yep. Very cool. So I'm going to speak to Ed now. Maybe he'll stop chatting so much. I'm kidding. Also Kath. I'm a 10-1, also Kath. I don't know what that means. I'm checking back. Oh, Monica or Monique. What Monique? I have your numbers here. Where'd they go? I want to see if there's a 5 in you. Jonna, I've got her numbers. She's in a year of spiritual shedding. Also, Jonna, if you're still here, you have the 10 in you as well. And a master intuitive. Monique, where did you go? Monique, I guess I'm going to need your numbers again to know. Really? Angie, that's frigging incredible. I should put I'm not even managing my own chat. I need a moderator. I should pin these comments. What did she just say? Ha, this. Look at that. And look how cute she is in her little pink self. And then, oh, Monique. Okay. Yeah, I think you do have a 5. Let me write that down real quick. Wait, no, hold on. No. But you are 7, Monique, 7, 6, 1, 9. So your code is going to be even longer, Monique, because it's your chariot. So we did talk about a lot of that in the beginning. And you can replay that and listen to the chariot descriptions, as well as the Magician. We talked about a little bit, but you have the 6 in you, which is the Lovers, and I can't think of the other word for it. And then the Hermit and the Prophet. And 6 and 9s mirror each other. So your code is really long. It's 7, 1, 7, 6, 9, 1, 9, 6. So the 9s and 6s, if you don't balance and work on that a lot, you will spin. It's easy to get you spinning, but you very much have a lot of old soul energy in you. So I hope that, we'll talk more, Monique. We can look at some of the dates of the people you've been involved with too, and get some insights about those connections and what you should do. It might help. You definitely have that chariot soldier energy in you. Just, be careful not to spend too much. It is. And Angie, I was thinking, it's important to ground and protect ourselves for everybody when you go into readings or do readings. And then when you come out, I want you guys to clear your energy and reground yourself. Because as we do this, we really open up and we'll set intentions in the beginning to open up and protect ourselves. But we never, well, I haven't been doing it as a practice of really closing off that bubble when I finish and go back into the world, so that I'm not just constantly getting everything, absorbing everything, because I am a 2. I absorb everything like that, the biggest sponge ever. Now let's get to Ed, because he's got 2 2s in him, which he could do too. And Ed, you can also spin because you're overall a 9. And I would love to read that to you. I love the Hermit, the Prophet, Lindsay Knight, who does this, is a 9. And then you're a 2 5 2. So you do have that Hierophant energy we talked about, old soul contracts, and such strong High Priestess energy too. But I will read the Hermit and the Prophet to you, Ed, and see if you find it helpful. And you guys also, if there's any dates, let's see where Ed is this year. Date. Ed is in a year of spiritual shedding. And I know I've read this to you guys before, but I'm going to read it for Ed, and it'll make sense if your dates add up to 7 this year. Spiritual shedding is a lot of, that transformational kind of energy, Ed, of death and rebirth, restoration of balance, and letting go of old behaviors and beliefs and patterns that were self-destructive. It's an opportunity to heal issues regarding trust and caution, anger issues, which I kind of think you may have had, healing anger issues, resentment issues, redirection of your energy, and feeling much more liberated, emotionally restored, healing abandonment issues, and re-examining priorities in your life and relationships that you trust. And a lot of self-examination about your behavior and what triggers you and how you want to handle that energy. Sometimes this year, as you go through this, you may have trouble communicating it and with your confidence, but it's all part of it, a part of moving forward. Some of you in this kind of year are going through a divorce or ending relationships like that, but it makes you feel better, freer, more liberated. Does that make sense? Cool. Oh, I got to take that down. Okay. Very cool. So, and I hope that helps for you in regards to that, but I do want to read the energy of the Hermit to you guys who may also have a 9, be a 9. I have a 9 in me. So let's look at that. Ed, I'm like 2. I'm an overall 2, 7, 9, 4, or however, it doesn't matter what order, but I'm a 2, similar to you, and I have the 9. So I can see where we gel. We gel. And I'm not negating that you do have the 11, the master intuitive. All right, but let's look at the 9, your overall energy. Did I read this already? You guys? Let's do it again. Let's just do it again, because this is for Ed. 3 years of hermit mode. Well, except for hanging out with you all and my girls on the Spiritual View and Gigi, I stay in hermit mode. I need a lot of alone time. I won't lie about it. I'm fine. So I'm going to read it again. What is this? That's so funny. Okay. Hermit energy people. We'll leave the 2 aside. We'll fight about our high priestess status next time. Really? So, and my rising is Aquarius. Interesting. All right. Hermit energy people, loners of this world, spiritual by nature, you times 1,000. Introspective, a deep desire to understand things. Struggles with feeling connected to the world. Empathetic and empathic. Difficult to know, shrouded, emotional, complex, complicated, sexual, reactive, easily triggered, struggles with issues surrounding self-shame, self-forgiveness, and forgiveness of others. So it'd be good to work on that, Mr. Ed. May have felt wounded and guarded and could have a tendency to self-harm, curious about the world, secretive, abandonment and rejection issues and attachment issues, a deep desire for intimacy, and at the same time, there can be intimacy issues. Struggles with issues of trust and loyalty, but I think this year you're really getting through a lot of that. Going through this spiritual shedding. May use injuries to avoid future life experience. I think there's a lot of depth in that statement. Sensitive, desire to lead others to spiritual awareness. There was Ed. Private, suffers alone, withdraws when wounded, protective, defensive, uses anger as a form of emotional protection, often feels misunderstood, can suffer from depression and isolation. So, Ed, I want you to continue to be in all my lives, be a member, email me constantly. You're not alone. You know that. And we love you. Okay. Hard on oneself. So you're going to lighten up. Perfectionist. May abuse alcohol or drugs to self-numb. You loomy. Obsessive. Hide injuries with a false front. Engaging, supportive, and empathic. Cuts all ties when betrayed. I do that. All right. So add some famous hermit people. Mother Teresa, Elvis Presley, Bob Marley. I'm going to set you guys off on another singing rant. Let me start again. Mother Teresa, Elvis Presley, Bob Marley, Ray Charles, Prince, Kurt Cobain, Cher, Ray Charles, did I say that? Jim Carrey, Heidi Fleiss. Let's go. Rock Hudson and Chris Angel. Interesting. You feel that, Kathy? That's interesting. Well, you know, a lot of these overlap, as you can see. Ed, I have an affirmation for you and for you to share perhaps with others on your channel, because you are a spiritual leader, my friend. I am a beautiful soul that needs to feel loved in my life. I will open my heart to receive love. I will allow myself to be filled, knowing that I am deserving and worthy. I am safe. I will trust. I am good. I am present in my body. I hold my head high. I am grateful. I am blessed. And you probably know this, but I'm going to read some of the stones and crystals that are good for you. Peggy, what? Vegas trip a coming. Stones for you. Labradorite connects one to universal light. I like to say God. Smoky quartz, purification. Jade promotes compassion, love, forgiveness, and self-love. Sorry, my dog is messing with the cats. Lapis connects one to old universal wisdom. Turquoise, stone of wisdom, faith, and trust. And selenite restores your innocence. And it's also very protective. As you know, I have a lot of it around me. Okay, good. Shiva Lingam, let me read that to you. It's not listed, but I have it right here. And look, I flippin' turned right to it. That is a spiritual moment right there. Look, I've opened right to it. And it's a 5. That's wild. So we were meant to talk about this. Shiva Lingam isn't about an alchemical union. It embodies the wisdom of deities brought to earth and symbolizes uniting dualities and manifesting the creative force. So it's really strong about balancing yourself and being compassionate with yourself to heal. You have masculine, feminine, and other dualities within your being and integrate these to release your creative power. A Shiva Lingam is produced from the tumbling waters. Life shapes you in the same way. So go with the flow. Soul scouring reveals your divine core. If you were hurt or abused, be compassionate with yourself to create healing on all levels. And the divination is get back to basics and put passion back in your life. Come out of hermit mode. Come out of hermit mode. And also remember the 9 mirrors the 6, which is all about duality. So it's important that you honor that female male balance in you. And I would work with the Merkaba and some sacred symbols too, Ed, which you probably already know. It says, get back to basics and put passion back in your life. Honor your libido and creative fire. Create balance. Expect a new relationship or revitalize an old one if you want to go back. This is really going to set him off. Practice sexual magic. Okay? Just leave it there. Cut ties were appropriate, though. Be careful who you lay down with it. Remember, you create through the power of thought. Everything passes, and in a turbulent time, unexpected benefits emerge. I love that for all of us. The healing insight, Ed, is true relationship transcends earthly experience. It's rooted in soul unification and unconditional love. The soul path is a tantric union of opposites, and the timing indicated is Scorpio, if that resonates with you. And the Shiva Lingam for our chakra helps the sacral chakra and the highest crown. It activates the rise of the Kundalini energy. So Kathy's cracking up. I can't with Ed. I can't, but that's so cool. It really was something amazing he tapped into to ask me about that. Oh, really? A Merca? Oh, that's awesome. I think that'll be really cool. Oh, Judy, did you go to her website? If it's not listed, it's because it's out of print right now. She's reprinting it. So follow her if you're on TikTok. I think she's on Instagram also, but keep her website. She's got a lot of oracle cards. Well, several. I have all of them and they mean the world to me. And she's got amazing jewelry and all kinds of things. Just check back. The book she prints herself and was out of print. Yes, clear your calendar, love. Your schedule. Clear your schedule. Um. Okay. So 2:22 here in Florida. How about that? Oof. Oof. I'll clear my diary. All right. So where am I? Who have I missed? I could probably go a little bit longer. I have so much more information for you guys. So we're going to keep doing this. Kathy, yes. And if you heard all the anger issues that come in my numbers, I am getting pissed a lot lately. Mostly just something Angie talked about not long ago was chilling the road rage. She's like, why is everybody so angry out there? Well, people like me rolling around with some of this frequency of like, get the out of my way. And why do you drive like that? What's wrong with you? I missed you. Okay. Tell me your name again and shoot me your. I'm just annoyed. I feel you. Tell me your name again and did I write it down? That's so funny, Kathy. Oh, that's cool, Peggy. Yeah, 1122. I need a drink. Okay, Laura. Hi, Laura. And I will just put a plug in there to save myself. If you guys would become a member, even at the just the lowest tier, that helps me immensely. Do subscribe and like too. That's all free. But if you can be a member, that helps a lot. And then as we grow, because I'm going to grow to about 100,000 here any minute, then you'll be at the top of the list. Okay. Relationship advice. All right. Well, it would help Laura too if we were looking at that other person's numbers, but let me look at a couple things for you. She's got the Empress and the Emperor in her as well. And a 5, I think. No, a 7, 4, 3. Yeah, 5. You're Laura, you are the Hierophant too. So if you want to replay that, you'll get a lot of info about that. That's your overall energy. And then your code is 5, 7. So you have the Chariot, which we talked a lot about, and the Emperor and the Empress. And keep in mind, the Empress is the seed too. So you're really good at starting things and seeing them through, leading, doing the difficult things, pushing through. And you're probably struggling with relationships because just about everybody you really care about, you've had a past with a soul contract of some type. Okay, let me look at that real quick. My first thought about Tony is he has 2 8s in him, and Peggy has 3, but she's done a lot of work. She is a spiritual healer and guide, no doubt. And she really brings a lot of balance and advocacy and justice in her world. But Laura, some eights can split. This is due to typically childhood trauma. And then there's a gap that even just divorce and stuff where they're torn between two places. Sometimes it's past life energy where they are actually in a war zone. It's like growing up in a war zone. It can split in 8. So if you're dealing with Tony in regards to that kind of energy and what happened when he was little, he's got that rolling around. On the positive side, he could be a lot like Peggy, where he's got it going on. Let me finish the numerology. 18. Why can't I do math today? Or any day, really? Because you're not supposed to do math. Hold on. Hold on. Let me get Tony here. What's this? Yes. Wow. That is fantastical. Whoa. Okay. So, Laura, here's the deal. Tony's overall energy is a 3, right? You guys are pinging off the 3. And his code is 3588. So, number one, I get this twin flame thing. People like to use it. It's trendy. I'm all about 5s and soul connections and soul purpose and past life connections. You and Tony have the 3s and the 5s, okay? And the 5 is that soul contract. So and you overall, the Hierophant, you really, I know it to be true that you just, people you really care about or meet the first time, you're like, I feel like I know you. And so you are connected to Tony in that way. And the 3, he's very creative. He's loving and nurturing. He can start things, but does he finish? Does he spin out of control? What's going on there? Yeah, well, he might be stuck in the gap where he split and it never really healed. And I don't mean anything about mental illness or anything like that. It's just kind of, he doesn't finish anything. Yeah. Let me read the Empress energy to you. We haven't done that. And it might explain some things to you. Do you know much about his childhood? Because the 8s, when you're just kind of forever torn, like you grew up in a war zone, there's a big gap there. Oh, let me see what year he's into. Let's see. This year for you, Laura, it's a 7-year for you, like I just mentioned to Ed about spiritual shedding. So you're really going to draw a line here about toxic relationships, patterns, and things in your life that you do or people bring to you, all of the above. And it may be about ending relationships, but at the same time, new ones coming in. And Tony this year, he's also in a 7-year of spiritual shedding. So this is the year where you guys are going to make it or break it. He did. Yeah. I'm just checking out the chat. That's interesting. Yeah, therein lies the problem. And this is a year where he can really fix that, address these healing issues, really, for once in his life, understand the gap. And you can't fix it. He's got to learn how to live through that. And you guys are going through this year at the same time. So you're either going to help each other or you're going to call it quits. But I want you to do it in a loving way, nurture and support each other, but don't try to fix each other. And for Monique, everybody, that goes for you too. We can walk beside them. We can help. We can carry. We can love. We can nurture, but not to the detriment of your own well-being. You have come into this life with enough to carry. Walk beside people. You are not contracted to fix them. Okay. Let me read qualities to you that may relate for Tony. Okay, Laura? And here I go. I got to get my glasses again. Oh, you're so welcome. Yeah, it'd be important for you guys to really talk about these things and work through it this year. It's a really good time. And then 8s become about emotional balance and restoration. So you can do it together or separately, you know? So Empress qualities, this is more about Tony. Highly intuitive, nurturing, supportive, spiritual, empathic, struggles with being able to relax, fear and anxiety issues, struggles with the unknown, control issues, manifests fear like a knot in your tummy, and may have digestive issues, impatient, creative. They love to see things develop under their careful attention, but they have to pay attention, right? They bring out and inspire qualities in other people. They're good delegators, but they can drop the ball sometimes. I love this for Angie because I know she's got a 3 in her. Effective as coaches, teachers, and mentors. Protective, defensive, devoted to family. Tony may struggle with living in the present, in the moment, and struggle with letting go of the past. So this year of spiritual shedding is going to be really hard for him. He needs to wake up to this. Empress people have difficulty allowing their children to fail. They may take on other people's issues, sometimes have difficulty maintaining healthy boundaries, struggles with communication and speaking their truth, avoidance, no confrontation, difficulty saying no, but the follow through, they should have just said no, right? Burnout issues, private about personal suffering. People are drawn to their warm, protective nature. And if Angie's still here, I told her I love it when she mommies me. I need that. Martyr syndrome, defensive, tends to withdraw when injured. So understand that too, Laura. Like he's just going to take some me time over the littlest thing. He or she. Trust issues, takes on the responsibility for care of the parents. Intimacy issues, guilt issues, self-esteem, can be a bit manipulative, often struggles with feelings of dread, deals with feelings of being taken advantage of, struggles with self-care. Kind of like got to give him a kick in the butt sometimes. But what I love about Empress energy too, their home is warm and welcoming. They love to cook and have people over, but they tend to be the last to eat, the last to sit down, and the last to go to bed. Just go, 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 go. There's a soul contract there. There's a soul contract there. Soulmates and twin flames and all of that. we can put those labels on it, but it's either really good or it's kind of toxic, in my opinion, my humble opinion. People get really caught up in putting up with a lot of crap because they think this is a twin flame or we have a soul contract. Well, maybe, there's a reason why. These are the reasons why you feel that connection, these frequencies. That's what's important. Why was I attracted to this person? We're different here, but oh my God, this is amazing. That's the soul connection. Put whatever label you want on it. If it sucks and it's toxic, it's just a toxic relationship. They're either really good or they suck. Do we have contracts with these people? Yes. Do we have lessons to learn? Absolutely. Again, I just refuse to put those kind of labels on it. It's getting a little ridiculous. And if you guys want to understand what I'm talking about, watch that Netflix special about twin flames. It's a flipping cult. So I just think we have to be really aware of why and how we meet people and why we connect. But what's the reality? Can someone with those 8s be as balanced as someone like Peggy? Not everyone can. And that is a number that he has a lot in him, and the Hierophant. And he's split from what you're telling me. So unless he really does the work, it's going to be difficult. Yeah, it feels very contracted, like this is my person and I can't let go. But, maybe in some other life, he was your brother. I don't know. There's a contract there of some sort, but that does not mean that you're meant to stick with this for years and through a bunch of crap that doesn't feel right. But only you know that. And, this is not relationship therapy or advice. This is just my opinion. But having been in some long-term relationships, and the one that I would have said was my soulmate that died, I went through that. I'm like, oh, it's the whole thing. I put him on a pedestal. He died from alcohol. Why was I putting exactly, Angie? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Like, we're all in this chat rolling around with similar vibe. We might have been in a tribe together before. So it's deep, but it's no reason to stay with somebody and put them on a pedestal despite alcoholism, despite all these things that they have their own issues with. Yeah. So I don't like those labels, but I do like diving into the energy around the numerology and our astrology and understanding why we click and where we're different. And some of that past life stuff really comes through in numerology, and I love it. So just work with it. That's the best thing you can do. And some famous Empress energy people: Anne Frank, Kate Middleton, Celine Dion, Hillary Clinton, Pierre Trudeau, Michael Hutchins, River Phoenix, Katie Lang, Charles Dickens, Fidel Castro, and Michael Stipe. Not sure who Michael Stipe is. And an affirmation for Empress. So, Laura, let's say in this spiritual year of spiritual shedding for you and your partner, if he would listen, I have homework that you guys could do individually, right? It's not really homework. It's about meditations and journaling and things. But the affirmation if you both could work through this, then that's a good soul connection, and you witness each other grow in a positive way. You're either moving towards love or you're moving towards hate. And that's the bottom line in everything we do in life, relationships and everything. The affirmation is, today I will nourish my spirit. I will allow myself to receive and know that I am safe to do so. I am good. I am beautiful. I am kind. That's the affirmation for Empress. The stones. Moonstone helps to release fear. Malachite helps to release toxic energy. Labradorite connects one to universal light. Bogie stones, grounding and balancing, and I would say Tony means a lot. Smoky quartz, purification, and selenite, also protection and restores your innocence. Yes, Peggy, absolutely. Absolutely. Are we contracted to be with people? Yes. Does that make them the end all be all? No. Okay, I'm glad it helped. I'm glad it helped. And of course, there's a lot more. So, Laura, remember to, if you want to absorb it more, watch the replay, because you are the Hierophant, the Church, the Chariot, which we talked about, the Empress, and the Emperor. So that's just one we didn't read today, is the Emperor, but we'll get to that. There's a lot of Emperor energy in this group. And I think I will end with this. Thank you guys for being patient as we go through all of this information. And Angie, thank you for being here. I love you, Pumpkin. I'll be sure to see you Friday. You guys will, Angie and I will be live with, I hope, the whole group. Who knows? Friday at 6 p.m. It'll be our 1-year anniversary. I don't know if we're doing anything. Okay, great. I appreciate that. It's going to take probably an hour to process. And, I'll probably retitle it, or I don't know, whatever, but you'll see it. And you're so welcome. Thank you for being here. It's nice to meet you. I don't remember meeting you before. I love you too, Peggy. I love you, Ed. I love Gigi. I love Angie. I love Kathy. I love you guys. I really do. I love this. I love this. Thanks, Ange. That's a great way to end the show. The contract is to get your power back. The label is irrelevant. Absolutely. The reading tomorrow, Angie, had to do with compassion, integration, and harmony, and really all within yourself, because without integrating all of that, what else do you bring to the world? And it's easier said than done. Thank you. Thanks, Ed. I love you. Glad you guys could be here. Thank you, Judy. Thank you, guys. All right. Well, have a great rest of your week. I will see you on the Spiritual View Friday, and I plan to go live with Gigi either Saturday or Sunday. Bless her heart. I just got to work on her courage. We got a lot more to talk about. So I hope to see you guys then. Goodbye. Be safe. Stay warm. Come to Florida. Bye. Thanks again, Angie.